Thank you.
Lovely, we're live now. Thank you.
Thank you, Caroline. Good afternoon and welcome to my decision day. I'm Kirsty North, the Executive Lead Member for Universal Services. This decision day will be broadcast live on YouTube via the County Council website. And today I'd like to welcome Councillor Lulu Baumann, the Executive Member for Highways and Passenger Transport, Councillor Jackie Branson, our Universal Services Select Committee Chairman, and Councillor Mike Ford, a big welcome to you, our Select Committee Vice Chairman.
Thank you.
We don't have any deputations today, so we can head straight on to the first item on the agenda. So the first item is the Scola refurbishment at Horndean Technical College and Tesbourne Community School, Whitchurch. And I think Patrick first and then Mike.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Councillor North. So this is, as you said, the Scola refurbishment of the two colleges, and really the report sets out the detail and just seeks approval to respond and get on with the refurbishment. I'm just going to say, actually, it represents a really significant improvement for the environment of the school, and the thermal performance is talking about the recladding of the school, the roof coverings for the school, and what we're planning to do is start that in spring of 2026, but avoiding exam periods and trying to do it within the confines of the school holidays. It's fully funded by the Department for Education, their school condition allocation, and actually the Department for Education are taking a real interest in the Scola recladding, which I know we've had here at decision days before, because it's a really good way of effectively improving the life of buildings without replacing the buildings. But that was all I was going to say by way of introduction, and again, happy to take questions.
Great, thanks, Patrick. And I've seen firsthand how these work and how great they can be. Not only for the school environmentally, but also, you know, just the change in environment for the pupils and how much they respect having a new modern working environment, which was fantastic to see when we did a previous visit. So thanks very much for that, Patrick. Councillor Branson, Ford or Baumann, is there anything you'd like to add on this item?
I would just say totally agree with everything you've just said.
Fantastic. In which case,
ditto from me, actually, Councillor North. Thank you very much. I think it's a great piece of work, and you know, I know we're in the process of doing many more, I imagine. So I can't believe how old these buildings are. Was the other thing to say. I mean, you know, they've done well, but they can really do with a refurb. So it's a great piece of news. Thank you.
Quite right. They have lasted a long time, haven't they, Mike?
Yeah, to pick up on Councillor Baumann's point there, I mean, we do them on a kind of a priority basis. We've done many buildings as well. As you see in the report, we started with the higher risk ones, the 4- and 3-story buildings. We're on those 2-story buildings now, and we do them on a priority basis. So we're doing 2 more here. And in terms of the value for money, you know, this is less than half the cost of a new build. So in effect, we're getting 2 done here as opposed to 1. So we've got a programme ahead, Councillor Baumann, but we're doing it on a priority basis.
Fantastic. Thank you, Mike. And I think, you know, the report speaks for itself, the benefits of this type of programme that you're running, which is brilliant. And hopefully, as you say, Lulu, it will last for years to come. They've stood the test of time, and we want something fit for the future now. So fantastic. So I'm very happy to agree that recommendation. They are on in paragraphs 2 to 5 on page 5 of the agenda report. And we can move on to agenda item 2, property related consultancy services framework and spend approval update. Over to you, Patrick.
Thank you, Councillor North. So this is really about changing and varying the mechanism through which we procure the services from the private sector. And you also see in the paper we've varied and reduced the predicted forecast spend through this framework. So this is about approving the use of the SCF, the Southern Construction Framework 2. It's a framework really that enables us to really provide flexible, efficient and value for money procurement for professional services for property. But a really key point which you'll see brought out in the paper, this is not about approval of that spend. This is about approval for an envelope for the framework to spend, but all the normal approvals will still take place for the specific projects that go through the framework. But that was all I was going to say by way of introduction. And again, have to take questions, and we've got both Mike and Alison Hawke on the call as well.
Thank you, and I appreciate we've had the opportunity to talk about this prior to this meeting as well, anyway, so I don't have any specific questions for you, but councillors on the call, if anyone would like to ask a question, now is your opportunity. Councillor Bowman.
Thank you very much, Councillor North. One probably for Patrick, actually, or Mike. There's, with everything going on in local government reform, etc., and devolution, I'm just wondering, there's no mention, no reflection of this in the paper, and I just wondered how those two items coming forward, the changes, will impact on something like this, if at all.
Thank you. Councillor North, may I respond to that?
Please do.
Thank you, Councillor Bowman. I mean, this really is about putting in place a framework for what we know now and what we can see going forward as far as we can predict. What we will have to look at, depending on what changes in local government in the future, we would look at everything from this framework through to all of our other contracts and work out how that will play out with any new construct in local government. But for now, what this is doing is dealing with a pipeline that we know as far as we can predict, but we would pick that up as part of any planning for any future changes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, in which case, sorry, we can move to the recommendations, which are in paragraphs 2 to 6 on pages 19 and 20 of the agenda, and I'm very happy to approve those. And some of them are in consultation with myself anyway, so I'm sure we'll come back to them at a future meeting. And we can move on to agenda item 3, which is the capital programme. Back to Patrick.
Thank you, Councillor North. So this is a regular update that we bring, but this is an update on the capital programme for Q1 and Q2 of this year. It's quite a comprehensive report, as you'd expect, because we have a fairly large capital programme that we're still running. But you can see that a significant amount of work has taken place in those 2 quarters, and you'll see that set out within the report. What we've tried to do is set the report out in such a way that you can see how a narrative on how things are changing in terms of the market in which we operate, the work, the capital programme, the things that likely influence our capital works. But what we've also done is set out the works by branch, the 4 branches within the directorate, just for clarity, so you can actually see what work is taking place in each branch. Within the report, also, you'll see that we've made some changes with the addition of some schemes into the programme where we've got external funding, but also we've tweaked some of the schemes where we've secured more funding as well. But again, it's a comprehensive report. It sets out the significant amount of work that's taking place through the capital programme. Again, happy to take questions, and I'm joined with Alyssa on the call if we've got any specific ones as well. Thank you.
Thanks, Patrick. And as you say, it's a great report, actually, because it's full of loads of detail and great schemes that we've been working on, which are either coming to an end, things like the Billy Trail, which was fantastic to go and see that, actually on a lovely sunny day when it was being well used, not like today, but and things that are coming up very shortly. So a big thank you from me for the inclusion of Western Avenue in Andover, which I'm thrilled to see coming forward, thanks to the Levelling Up Fund bid, successful bid that Test Valley Borough Council were awarded, and the works that are going on there to open up the river in the town centre. But councillors on the call, any questions or specifics you'd like to throw at Patrick or Alyssa? No, Lulu's happy.
Yeah, but just to say, like you, echoing some of the things that you said, I mean, also, you know, we've got, you mentioned about the Havant footbridge, which is coming forward at last after 80 years in existence. So that's a great one for me. And also the use of recycled materials from Michendever. I think that's absolutely brilliant as well to see that coming forward again and being mentioned, and that we used approximately 4,000 tonnes of it on the resurfacing of the A32. Do correct me if I'm wrong on that one, Tim. I think that was what it was, but no, brilliant. So yeah, highlights for me, I would say. Thank you.
Brilliant, thank you. It's great to see such a packed report, really, with so much going on. It shows the breadth and depth of universal services here, and I'm very pleased to approve the recommendations in paragraphs 3 to 7 on page 29. And we can move on to agenda item 4, which is Basingstoke Discovery Centre scheme. Back to Patrick.
Thank you, Councillor North. So this is a project proposal for Basingstoke Discovery Centre, and it's really about facilitating the relocation of staff from Dame Mary Fagan House and the work that's going to be necessary within Basingstoke Discovery Centre to do that. And you'll recall that that work for Dame Mary Fagan House relocation there was part of our office accommodation programme, rationalising our area offices. Just a couple of points of note on this. What this will do is it's creating additional space, desks, meeting rooms within the Discovery Centre itself. And what that really does is allow us to create really highly accessible, cost-effective, community-facing spaces, because you'll see the predominant members of staff moving from Dame Mary Fagan are adults and children's services, so they'll be relocated to the Basingstoke Discovery Centre. There's a sum of money associated with actually doing the works themselves, but we would also have to have spent money on Dame Mary Fagan House in terms of the maintenance of that. So there's a netted off effect as part of that. But there's quite a lot of details set out in the paper by way of the works that are being done. But again, very happy to take questions. Thank you.
Thanks, Patrick. I think this would be a great visit once all the works are complete, because it's really good use of our funds to rationalise the estate and ensure we can all work from the same place as much as possible. It's easier for the public as well as our own staff, and get modern facilities for them. Councillors, Councillor Branson, Bowerman, Ford, anything to add on this one?
Just to say that I think this is a really good use of space and, a very sensible thing to be doing.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. I completely agree. And I'm very happy to approve the recommendation in paragraphs 3 to 6 on page 63. And now, what you've all been waiting for, number 5, appointments to outside bodies. I have an appointment to make, very exciting. Councillor Ford, hopefully this won't come as too much of a surprise to you, but I'm appointing you to the Southern Regional Flood and Coastal Committee.
Well, you might find it exciting, Kirsty. I find it even more exciting. and no, it doesn't come as a surprise.
Fantastic. So thank you. That is the recommendation in paragraph 1 on page 77, and I confirm that Councillor Mike Ford will be the representative appointed to that committee. And now we will exclude the press and public, please. I will read out the statement, which I have to do. So I've determined that the public be excluded from the decision day during the following item of business, as is likely in view of the nature of the business to be transacted, or the nature of the proceedings, that if members of the public were present during this item, there would be a disclosure to them of exempt information within paragraph 3 of part 1 of Schedule 12A to the Local Government Act 1972. And further, that in all the circumstances of the case, the public interest in maintaining the exemptions outweighs the public interest in disclosing this information for the reasons set out in the report. So, can we please end the webcast there?